terrific. I really appreciated our time.
Lakes and sunshine and wine.
Not an easy topic, but well worth the discussion.
This is where I wave, right? Like this.
You got it. You've nailed it already.
Yes.
In 2014, Rose Sexsmith spearheaded, launched perhaps a social media campaign here in Kelowna called the 100 Plus Women Who Care. Why did you decide to go ahead and do that, Rose? You have a lot on your plate. That just added one more thing, it seems.
Well, actually, it's funny because you know, we had that fundraiser, Wild Woman, Wise Woman, every year for about 10 years, and I know that you've been involved in fundraisers, and I know that you know how much work it is, and the stress of, are you going to sell enough tickets, and you know, all the stuff that goes with it. So one of my friends, Lee Litticoat, who was part of Wild Women, Wise Women Committee too, she had seen this 100 Women Who Care on the internet some way, somehow. And so she brought it to me and said, look, we can raise money an easier way. So it was, it just so happened, timing was so perfect. We were having our last Wild Women, Wise Women fundraiser planned that was going to be our last. And so I was able to tell all these wonderful women about 100 Women Who Care. So right off the bat, our very first meeting, we had 85 committed members. And our first recipients were Kelowna Women's Shelter. And so they received, I think, $3,700 or something. And then it just kept growing, and we actually got to just about $10,000. And I don't know if people started losing interest, or I do know that one of our members wrote to me and said, you know, all the people that we're supporting, I support anyway. So she was hoping to see maybe some different charities, which now we're getting a lot of different charities that I've never heard of before in this town, and it's really, yeah, so.
And that was one of the questions I was going to ask is, how difficult can it be to keep momentum going, to keep an event that supports charities going? I mean, they're as rewarding as it is, there must be some challenges too.
There is, and you're right, is to keep that momentum going, to keep everybody kind of excited. And that's why we do have meetings, which our meetings are so short, and because I like that. It's let's get in there, let's hear about the charities, let's vote, let's do it. But we always open doors an hour before, and the venues are always kind enough to let us stay longer. And so there is a lot of, you know, I don't like to call it networking because it's not a networking group. It is just meeting. Like, we've had quite a few new people to Kelowna that have found this was a good way to meet other people in the community.
Yeah, and I think the premise of how the evening works is interesting. I think it's a little bit different. Like, all the members have to commit to a certain dollar amount over the year.
So ideally, how it was started was a member would commit to, well, in Kelowna, $200 a year, and that is $50 4 times a year. So any paid member can nominate a charity, a non-profit registered charitable organization, local, and then we draw 3 names out of all the charities, and those 3 people come to our next meeting and speak for 5 minutes each. Now, if the members want to research these charities beforehand, they are more than welcome to vote online through me. And then at our meeting, the charities vote or speak for 5 minutes. We vote, and what would be really nice if I got 4 post-dated checks in January, really, you know, blank post-dated checks, and then that way it's bam, it's all done. But I found not everybody uses checks anymore. So I opened it up to e-transfers. I opened it up to, you can pay $200 in advance and I will separate it for you. So I don't mind at all. I want it to be open to as many people as possible, and I want it to be easy for people to do that. Now, the gal that started this originally, I think 10 or 11 years ago or so, I can't remember what year it was, she started at $100 4 times a year. We didn't think Kelowna could really do that as easily, but some of our members, that's what they do. They donate $100 4 times a year because that's what they want to do. So I just want to tell you that we're always open to that too.
And it really does sound like you're doing whatever you can to make it as easy as possible
Yes.
for women to get involved and to participate
Yes.
and to be able to express their spirit of philanthropy.
Yes. Oh, and that's exactly right. And I also, Tammy, this, I don't want to promote this, but I'm also open to people just showing up for a meeting and donating if they want for that one meeting. Like, I don't mind at all. And then that way they can vote that night, and they can't nominate, but they can vote. But we're up now to just about 100 again, committed women. Like our last donation was $4,900. So my goal is to make it, at least 200 and have a $10,000 donation 4 times a year. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, and I mean, you can speak to how it feels to give. How does it feel to give and to see charitable organizations and not-for-profit get a bit of a financial
Oh, I
boost?
love it so much, Tammy, and I wish it was more. Like the last recipient was Bridgeway, and they were so happy. Everybody's so happy to receive these. But one other thing that it does is it brings awareness to a lot of these charitable organizations that, like I said, I'd never heard of. I didn't know about Bridgeway. I knew about the crisis line, the Kelowna crisis line, but I didn't know about it. And you get to hear, even for 5 minutes, you get to hear, what these people do.
So what would you say to a lady who is perhaps watching this, sitting on the fence, just not quite sure if they want to get involved? What would you say to them? What would to encourage them?
What's stopping you? Just come try it. Come to a meeting, and like our next meeting is October the 23rd, upstairs of Kelly O'Brien. It's called Carlos O'Brien's. They are being so kind enough to give us the room without guarantees for food and beverage, which of course, coming from food and beverage, I totally understand that. But really kind of them to do this. And one day we are going to have a home, which, every member will know that that's when our meetings are and where they're going to be. And I think that'll encourage more commitment too, just to know where everything's going. Again, somebody compared this to snowflakes. And you get one snowflake and in seconds it's gone. But when you put all those snowflakes together, if you get enough, you can build an igloo. So it's the more we have in this little community, the more we can help, and the more difference we can make.
So can someone just show up to the next meeting then?
Absolutely,
Do they need
they
to
could.
register?
No, I've tried those kind of things. So yes, please just show up. And unless, of course, the best, if you're going to be a member, then go online on our website, and I think it's 100womenkelowna.ca. Anyway, it's and sign it, fill out the membership, and become a member, and then please come to the next meeting and bring your friends, and it'll be awesome.
And what time is the next meeting?
The doors open at 5. The meeting starts at 6 on the dot. So we hear from the last recipient. They tell us they have 5 minutes. They tell us what they did with the donation, and then we hear from the 3 charities that were drawn for this meeting. Everybody hears what they have to say. 5 minutes each. We vote. Oh, and we always have a little draw. We have to sell raffle tickets and then. Right now we've got just about $1,000 in that little envelope in the safe. And then, so then we vote, and it's over in 45 minutes. It is so fast. It is so awesome the way it's done.
Awesome on a lot of levels too.
It is, and now there's 100 men who give a damn here in Kelowna. There's 100 kids who care, and if you Google 100 women who care, and there are so many groups all over the world now. Call them whatever they want. 100 whatever you want. 100 golfers who care. It's
As long
fun.
as we care.
As long as we care, Tammy.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Rose.
you, Tammy.
And thank you so much for watching Kelowna Now.